Hello, hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings, and then I paint the rest. Fuzz. There was a whole bunch of fuzz. So the other night, I had decided that I wanted to make a bird with very large eyes, small, oops, there's a little section in there. So I want to make a bird with very big eyes, but not big face, head, body, mind, body, and soul. So the problem the other night was I couldn't decide how I wanted to start. If I wanted to do the eyes or if I wanted to do the face. And then I did. I don't even know where he is, otherwise I'd show it to you because he's hiding. I wanted to do the big eyes, but I ultimately decided to start with the face and then I was going to add the eyes. When I did that, the face, the hair, the face looked like hair to me. You have to go back and look at it because, like I said, I don't know where I don't know where I put it. But it made me think of hair, the way I was drawing the face. And so it ultimately did not receive any type of big eyes, and so I decided that tonight would be the night. Now, this is kind of lending towards, I did not have Al in mind at all. I had big eyes, little head, long neck, little body, ovalish body, legs. But this is kind of looking Al-ish, but it doesn't have to resemble an owl at all by the time we're done. So I'm gonna do his beak here at some point. And we'll see what happens. I had determined that I wanted an orange beak, so we're doing the orange kind of beak, and we got that going on. I thought I had to move a whole bunch of stuff today to, oops, that was a lot thicker than I wanted it to be, to get some different things that I was working on. And so I thought that today might be the day that I actually get my light put back in a halfway okay spot. I can officially say I did not put it in a good spot. It did not work out that way. Okay, so I probably should have done the beak after I finished doing all the little lines. Oh, folks. Oh, that is always my thing, is I put too much paint on a paintbrush. It's a fact of life, folks. Fact of life. So today was infusion number 5. These are maintenance infusions. I'm technically, quote unquote, cancer free, but I still, with this type of cancer that I have, they are having me go through what they're calling maintenance infusions. And so I am currently doing maintenance infusions, and I have 6 left. So that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, so this bird is a lot more intricate than I was gonna make him, and I'm here for it. I'm here for the moment, so we'll be okay. But this was not where I was going with him, but like I said, it'll all be where it's supposed to be at some point. So I'm trying to take my time and not rush him, because I do that way too much. But so today was day 5, or infusion 5, I suppose I should say, of maintenance, because prior to my surgery I had 6 chemo infusions, and then they have determined that, and there's math and science involved in this, so I'm not even going to pretend like I'm telling you exactly the correct information, but I'm trying to at least get it close to the reality. My doctor told me that after these infusions, there had to be a year's worth, based off of how do I explain it? Calculated years worth based on the type of cancer I have. That is going to be the best explanation that I can provide you. I had, and I'm probably even going to say this wrong because I'm tired and I'm not thinking. HER2 positive is what I think my breast cancer was. I will have to say it on not such a sleepy day. I've been very tired the last Owen pretty much slept last night, but when I'm talking about Owen sleeping, I'm not talking about Owen slept till 8 or 9. I'm talking that Owen slept until 5 o'clock, and it was very close. So I'm not it's definitely not a late morning, and I couldn't fall asleep last night. So even though he slept a little bit later, I was still not, I slept, and then I woke up for a couple hours, and I didn't go back to sleep easily, so forth, so on. So it's just some days are a little more complicated before sleep than others. So, anyways, but he slept until 5, and so me telling you about my cancer, because I had, I'm pretty sure that's right, HER2 positive. That sounds right, but like I said, I just don't want to be telling you the wrong information. And you were like, oh, she told us she had this. Well, you know, I think that's right, but like I said, I have to tell you when I'm more awake. But I know this part. I had 6 chemos with, my chemo infusion. Then I had my surgery, and then I had radiation treatments, and then I am now in these maintenance infusions, or what they told me they were being called. So I may not have all of the ducks in the row. And quite frankly, I did not want to know like what number I was at. I didn't want to know like a lot of the process, because I've already been on this journey over a year. And quite frankly, that's kind of daunting in itself. It's a lot. One of my doctors told me that this was one of the longest cancers to deal with, because of the way they do like these maintenance infusions and different things. And like I said, all the math that I was talking about, that they've figured out XYZ to XYZ to XYZ. So, it's a lot to process, but I didn't want to focus on a number, because I didn't want to have that as any type of control over how I dealt with my cancer. And I knew a lot of my story, my particular story, was going to focus around Owen, and that was a lot, because I wanted to keep him calm. I wanted him to understand as much as he could about the process of my cancer, in the sense, like I told him, my port, which is where they do the actual infusions, like the medicine goes into the port. I told him this was called a medicine box, because he knows what medicine is. And so explaining to him that mommy was getting medicine through this box was a lot easier than just saying it was a port. And I also had to have the chemo infusions, and so here, this is what I was talking about, my light. I thought I had it in a good spot, but anyways, I wanted him to be able to connect as much as he could with it. And my hair has always been something that he would have meltdowns over if I even had my hair pulled back in like a ponytail or something. So he's come an incredible long way since he was younger and everything, and he's 13. So it's still a lot. But like I said, he's definitely matured a lot and doing incredible things with this. But with that said, it's a lot for him to understand that my head of hair went from pretty much my waist to losing my hair. And so when I found out that I had cancer, what I started doing was preparing him. And it still makes me cry, because it was so hard for him to, he did great, but it's still a year later, as we're still processing a lot of it, it's still very hard for him to deal with. So I started getting my hair trimmed, um, a couple inches at a time, just so he would start understanding that it was going away. And there were times where it was easier on him than other times, but it was still all very emotional for him to process and get through. But he did. I mean, but like, he is ready for my hair to grow out and be um, longer and as he calls it, yellow hair, because right now I have very gray very gray hair, multiple colors of gray. It's the salt and pepper gray. So it's a big thing for him. Now, this was pretty round, and I gave it a little bit too much. See, this is eyeballs, and me are always interesting. So I'm going to try to give this one a little bit more to get them kind of. So anyways, Owen is doing much better with everything. But like I said, it's still very much part of the journey. And that's why I didn't want to focus on, the sickness. I wanted to focus on the health and getting better, and not any numbers that I could not technically control in the big, long, run of everything. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Okay. I think he needs a little extra, like his beak kind of looks sad, like he's not smiling. So maybe he needs some, let's see, might need some eyelashes. Now, I did the easy side. What I call the easy side. Not too bad this time. Oh, there, I moved it. Oh, I moved it. I'm trying to make him not look as, like, those were really too big. Tried to make him not look as mean. He looks mean for some reason to me. So I'm going to do one other thing and see if this kind of helps him out in any way, shape, or form. Kind of give him a little, like, flare right there, and he doesn't look quite as mean. So I think, again, I'll make him just a tiny bit wider down here. Not too much, but just a little more flare. I just want him to look a little happier. almost feel like you need some wing, like random. I can't decide. Sometimes I think too hard on something, and then when I do it, I think I'm thinking one thing and I'm rushing to do another. So I think I'm just gonna leave him, because what I was thinking about doing was putting some wings, but not out. I could do some little fluffers out. And I think he needs these little guys. I think I'm gonna do some. I wasn't gonna do it this way, so I was overthinking the other way, so now maybe I'm underthinking this way. Oh, I cracked myself up. Okay. I'm not complaining about that choice. He looks kind of happier now. He was looking not so happy. And quite frankly, I need happy. Oops, that was not what I wanted. I put it fully invested into the black I used, for his eyeballs. And I did not want that. Okay. That makes me happier. It makes me happier. Now he's got kind of a wing thing happening. Okay. I think that's much more happiness. A little bit of red. And there we go. So I do O for Owen, and then L, and Sleepy B. There you go. All right. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.